Unscripted.
I think recently Sony has showed that they're human after all. They're human just like the rest of us. They're a business and they make mistakes. I think that it always comes down to reaction time and how you're able to react and kind of get people to respond after that. So again, a lot of people ask me, why do I speak out so much against Xbox? I hope for some kind of change, some kind of thing that they decide to go out and get some games. And I know a lot of people say games take time, and I agree 100%. I do think that games, in fact, do take a long time to actually create. But I also would like to point out that even though games take a long time to create, if you have a long-term plan, you could have created or bought games in the interim, right? So what I mean is, you can imagine how like a network, a television network, is planning their content, right? And Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? For fall, whatever. And they have the different shows planned out. Like, how do you plan 5 consoles since 2016 and you started planning those consoles well before that, and you don't have any content planned? That is always a big problem. Sony has gone out on a limb and said some pretty incredible things, and you know, this should be a very entertaining video, and I'm interested to hear what everybody thinks about it, but it's going to be very controversial as well. What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I really do appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. It helps out the channel and it means a lot to me personally. If you guys wouldn't mind, the best thing you can do is hit the like button. You can also take a minute to consider subscribing. You can hit the bell so you're notified of all the content as soon as it drops. Hugely important. Shout out to all the old subscribers, new subscribers, everybody in between. You are simply amazing and fantastic. I appreciate the well wishes. If you didn't know, we had a thunderstorm. You know, that's the life of Florida, and lightning hit right outside, ended up frying my router, my internet as a whole. I've been having to go other places to upload videos. It fried my computer, had to get a new one. My capture card, had to get a new one. My PlayStation 4 Pro, they're going to fix that. It's the power supply, but I'm not going to have it back for 2 weeks. So yeah, there's a lot of bad things going on right now, but I always try to look at the upside. We got a pretty big, important show from Sony. They did a fantastic job showcasing games. It's everything I could have wanted. Yeah, it wasn't mistake-free. Yeah, it does suck, some of the stuff that's going on, but Sony has made some amends, and they were actually able to go out and sort of talk about this, and I feel like what they did was pretty significant, just in the way that they apologized. So this isn't so much what this video is about. This video is actually about something else, but I thought I would kind of relay the message because I know a lot of you get your PlayStation news from me. But Sony did apologize for the PlayStation 5 pre-order mess and promises that more consoles will be up for pre-order in the coming days. They've apologized, and they said the PS5 pricing and release date were finally revealed earlier in the week. And while pre-order details weren't shared during the event, Sony later confirmed that pre-orders would go live 1 day later. Multiple major retailers, however, kicked off pre-orders shortly after the showcase, and both the standard and digital consoles sold out instantly. Then the day after, on September 17th, various other retailers went live with their pre-orders. As might have been expected, pre-order stocks only lasted for roughly 10 minutes and sometimes even less than that. Scalpers have already been spotted selling pre-ordered PlayStation 5 consoles for more than twice the retail value. Now on Twitter, clearly Sony has apologized for the way that they've kind of handled things, so they are going to be addressing that. Again, this is why you speak out. They hear people speaking out, they listen, they respond. This is a good ebb and flow between consumers and a company that is actually working for us as the consumers, and this is what they had to say. Let's be honest, PS5 pre-orders could have gone a lot smoother. We truly apologize for that. Over the next few days, we will release more PlayStation 5 consoles for pre-orders. Retailers will share more details. They also added more PS5s will be available through the end of the year. Early data suggests that the vast majority of these pre-order consoles will be the standard edition, and according to this, my guess is we're going to see a lot of the digital consoles on the market eventually. I doubt this is a long-term thing, independent industry analysts said, but for those wanting a digital-only PS5, it might be more difficult to come by because basically the digital PS5 is not making Sony any money, so people have to kind of remind it that is a business, and those are probably actually losing money for Sony, but they felt like they needed to price it at that, and I wholeheartedly agree that they should have, because you have competition from the Xbox Series S, which is $299, so you needed something with a 3 in there so people don't see a $200 difference just based off the first number, right? So you get a console that's more than twice the power, has almost twice the storage capacity, and a lot of other features that just aren't there in the Xbox Series S, and that's going to be a good thing for them. Now, the more controversial part of the video, Sony also said no one should be disappointed at PS5 exclusives also launching on the PS4. So after the PlayStation 5 showcase took place, Sony quietly confirmed several PlayStation 5 exclusives are actually going to launch on the current generation PS4, specifically Spider-Man Miles Morales, Horizon Forbidden West, Sackboy: A Big Adventure will also be on the PlayStation 4. A lot of Sony fans were ticked off to find that out, to say the least, as Sony has been drumming up the need to make a new generation of hardware with tailor-made software that could only run on the PS5. But speaking in an interview with the Washington Post, Jim Ryan, president and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment, said that this is about delivering choice to customers and no one should be really disappointed because of this. He said, and I quote, "No one should be disappointed. The PlayStation 5 versions of those games are built from the ground up to take advantage of the PS5 feature set, and we have an upgrade path for PS4 users to get the PS5 versions for free. It's about people having choice. I'm really quite pleased about this situation." So again, I feel like this is a fair point, and I will of course link this in the description so you guys can check it out. But at the same time, Microsoft has been talking about this all along, where it said there wouldn't be any Xbox Series S or X exclusives for the first couple of years. Sony, on the other hand, led everyone to believe, or at least we thought, that PS5 exclusives were going to indeed be available and not be on the PS4, although there are some, obviously, like Demon's Souls Remake, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Gran Turismo 7, God of War, Ragnarok, and of course Destruction All-Stars and Godfall. In addition to another low-key confirmation that followed the showcase about prices for first-party games, certainly soured some of the enthusiasm. So if you didn't know, the big AAA games looks like they're going up to $69 instead of the $59. And I know that seems a little bit outrageous, and you know, because I understand how change goes, but I gotta say, PlayStation games usually don't support microtransactions, and I would rather see a little bit of an increase in the price, which, by the way, prices for video games have been pretty much the same for the last 3 decades. So I would much rather see, video gaming increase there than have to pay a bunch of microtransactions and things like that. So I know that that's kind of disappointed. I will say, though, that I sort of disagree with Jim Ryan. I understand that he says that these games are being built from the ground up, but as we've all stated multiple times, as we've heard from Digital Foundry, as we've heard from developers, you might be able to make a cross-gen game prettier on a next-gen console, but at the end of the day, it's held back in the way that it's actually designed from the ground up to begin with. Meaning, we've seen this even with stuff like the Outer Worlds developers, who obviously are Microsoft developers. We've seen them kind of say, yeah, we had to cut stuff out on the current gen stuff, even because we had limitations due to the memory and that kind of stuff. So you have to have this game that's going to be the same on the PlayStation 5 as the PlayStation 4, with the exception of some prettier graphics or whatever, and maybe a 60 frames mode, but the base game is going to be the same. And so that's going to be something that people are going to have to kind of take into consideration and understand that game development, from a standpoint and just the way that the gameplay is and the world design and that stuff, certainly is affected. And I don't understand why the little bit of misleading there by them to begin with. Like, I suspected all along the stuff like Sackboy and PlayStation Destruction All-Stars, which turns out that's exclusive on PS5, but those two seem to most fit the idea of being cross-gen because they were more cartoony or whatever. So I didn't understand why why they would do that to Spider-Man. But then again, they're probably going to put a price decrease on the PlayStation 4, and it's going to be a very casual price point, and you're going to be able to have 100+ million people be able to pick that up with Spider-Man, and if they're not going to be able to get a PS5, because let's face it, the PlayStation 5 is selling, and it's going to continue to sell out and continue to do extremely well. We really just have this idea that gamers are going to kind of if you're just looking to maybe play Fortnite or casually or getting to a PlayStation 4, they're still going to support it for years, but that doesn't mean that they're going to put every game on the PlayStation 5 on the PlayStation 4, like all their first party stuff. It doesn't mean that at all. Like I've mentioned multiple times in the past, if you're a gamer, you have to realize that Sony has done this before. Like, they came out with the PS3 in 2006, but the PS2 got God of War 2 in 2007. Okay, but you also have to remember that even though the PlayStation 4 came out in 2013, Gran Turismo 6 came out after the PS4 came out. And also, Little Big Planet 3 came out on the PS3 and PS4. That was a cross-gen game. So yeah, they do continue to do that kind of stuff. And you also have to remember that even The Last of Us Part 1 released at the end of the PlayStation 3 life cycle and didn't come out till a year later as a remastered version on the PlayStation 4. So again, I get it. I wish they wouldn't have lied or kind of misled people, but vastly, when you compare what they've lied about, quote unquote, towards compared to what like Phil Spencer and Xbox has lied about, I feel like there's still a long way to go. Again, these are corporations. Do I trust a corporation? No. I hope Sony learns some kind of lesson due to like a lot of the feedback and the negative feedback that we've heard so far. We'll have to see how that works out, because I think it is going to be very interesting to see how gamers react to anything that Sony says now. Like Sony, they probably are on the warning right now, right? Like they got to understand, you have everything in your court right now. Don't get cocky. Don't, the majority of your fans don't want to see stuff on PC. The majority of your fans don't want to see cross-gen games. Listen to your hardcore, because at the moment you start abandoning your hardcore, then you're no better than Microsoft. And you can do better. Fans expect better. Be better. That's my point all along. So with that being said, I will link all this stuff in the description below. Please take time out to consider subscribing. Please stay safe, happy, and healthy. I appreciate everybody that watches the video and the content. Rack 'em up. Game on, my friends. Game on. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.